Hello and welcome to this episode of the Handshake. My name is Amal Chowdhury and today we will be talking about Indian economic diplomacy's new age. As was underlined rather empathetically by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in his recent Ramnath Goenka lecture in New Delhi, Indian diplomacy has been evolving rapidly in the last few years. In some ways, this is how it should be. After all, diplomacy to be effective has to respond to real-time pulls and pressures and respond accordingly. But in recent months, Indian diplomacy has been showing a new edge, a new readiness to openly engage with those who sabotage India's vital interests. This has been the most categorical when it comes to India's decision to abrogate Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir, thereby changing its constitutional status and fundamentally altering the status quo. As was to be expected, the decision continues to have global ramifications. Most nations around the world have been sympathetic to Indian concerns and have agreed with New Delhi that it is an internal matter of India. But some have pointedly taken Pakistan's side. China remains the big problem in that regard, which has argued that India has unilaterally changed its domestic law and administrative divisions, challenging China's sovereignty and interests. But some other nations have also joined the Pakistani bandwagon. At the United Nations General Assembly in October, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan criticized India's move to abrogate Article 370 of the Constitution, and in a strong show of support for Pakistani viewpoint, he said that Kashmiris were virtually under blockade with 8 million people, unfortunately unable to step outside. The MEA's response was robust, calling upon the Turkey government to get a proper understanding of the situation on the ground before they make any further statements on this issue. Later on, India decided not only to cancel a proposed visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Ankara, but in a first, it also banned Turkish firm Anadolu Shipyard from doing defense-related business in India. Hindustan Shipyard Limited had chosen Anadolu Shipyard as its technology partner for Indian Navy's $2 billion fleet support ship program, but Turkish-Pakistani relations made it imperative for New Delhi to show its reluctance to engage Ankara on such a key project. India's response to Malaysia's support for Pakistan on Kashmir has also been strong, though relatively modest so far when compared to Turkey. Though New Delhi refrained from targeting Malaysia directly after Mahathir Mohamad's Unga outburst, India's top vegetable oil trade body asked its members to stop buying Malaysian palm oil. These actions underscore a new readiness in New Delhi to raise the cost for those who want to scuttle India's interests. For India's friends as well as adversaries, it carries a firm message that Indian red lines should be respected if a beneficial bilateral partnership is to be forged with a leading global economy. This newfound attempt at using its economic levers of more power explicitly than before opens up a new terrain for Indian diplomacy, which many traditionalists may not be very comfortable with. But with India's economic rise, it is another way to protect and enhance India's interest. And New Delhi should not be shy of using that. So this is it from this episode of The Handshake. For more such videos, keep watching MyNation.